2022.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Councilman Britt Moore at the City of High Point Chamber, and we are calling to order our Finance Committee meeting for Thursday, July the 11th. Here with me at the dais are Councilwoman Peters, Councilman Holmes, and Councilman Andrew. We have a pretty busy agenda today, which is not abnormal. Coming back from a little bit of time off. Hope everybody had a good Independence Day holiday and looking forward to a good rest of the summer. We're going to jump right into the presentations. Our first item is 2024-261. Mr. Robbie Stone, our Public Service Director, is going to have the first several items. Oh, I looked up and it's not Robbie. Wow, Robbie's a lot prettier. Well, hi.
Hello, good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. This is for approval of the asphalt supply for the City Streets Department. This will provide the actual supplies for the pothole crews, any resurfacing projects that we have, any utility cut repairs, things of that nature. We accepted bids and received 3 bids for the project, and Sharp Brothers came in at low bid at $387.50, apologies. And APAC was second low at $376,525. So we are requesting the recommendation and approval of this contract for Sharp Brothers to be the primary supplier of the asphalt and APAC to be the secondary supplier for the asphalt.
Okay. And this is one-year contract.
Yes, this is a 1-year contract.
Any comments or questions?
No, just, I think this is really good business to have a primary and a secondary.
Okay, good.
Considering the markets that we're in. So congratulations, I think this is a really good, really smart move.
We don't always get multiple bidders, so this was a great opportunity for us to have more than one.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
If there's no other comments on this item, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-261.
A second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Next item is 2024-262. Wait a minute. You gave me
Had to
flipping,
sweeten
right?
you up first. So.
Boy, what a letdown. Oh, this is Robbie Stone, everybody. Okay.
All right, so this is for our alum sludge dewatering at the Ward Water Treatment Plant. This is to approve a change order with American Process Group. We brought a contract to you back in May to award this contract. They began the dewatering process, and that contract was just over $885,000. The estimated quantity at that time was 1,400 dry tons, and you can't necessarily have a accurate quantity or exact quantity during that time prior to bidding that out. So once we have continued on this project, quantities have exceeded that 1,400 dry tons to 1,600 and a total of 1,644 dry tons. So we're seeking a change order number 1 here in the amount of $542 per dry ton. That change order amount will be $132,757.48. And we're asking for that to be approved to the American Process Group, LLC, in that amount.
Comments or questions on this item?
It's Councilman Andrew. So in my world, when we have estimates that are above 15%, they get flagged as red. This is 17% over the original estimate. Do we try to keep it? I mean, I know there's with estimates, you're never going to get it perfect all the time, but is there a range that we start getting worried about?
Yeah, definitely. We wanted to, ideally, we want to tie it in a lot tighter than this.
Mm-hmm.
Part of this process, though, is they pump this out. It has to go through a dewatering process, and then it is actually hauled off. So based on the time, the timing that we know the exact weights and tonnages, we stopped them once we saw we were to a certain point here. And so based on what they had already retrieved from that lagoon and then finished drying and dewatering, we were at this point here. So we were trying to play it really close, but it went over a little bit further than what we would anticipate and like for it to go over.
That's fine. I just want to understand the process.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Anything else? I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-262.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Next item is 2024-263.
This is to purchase two of the Gore Generation 4 mercury modules for the items at our mercury recovery vessel down at our incinerator at the Eastside Wastewater Treatment Plant. This unit, this MERV or mercury unit was installed due to the state and federal air emissions and requirements that are part of our permit. As part of that permit, once the mercury removal level drops below 70%, then we're obligated to change that. And we're not below 70% yet, but we're getting close to 70%. So this is to purchase two of these mercury modules. So there's a total of 5 in there, but purchase 2 of them, and then we'll rearrange those. There's kind of like filters, rearrange those filters within that mercury system to make sure that we are staying within our permit and achieving above a 70% level. We do testing once a year, so we'll be able to, every year we can monitor this and see how close we are to that 70% level. Invatec is the original designer and manufacturer of this unit, and their sole source product that is sold and distributed exclusively by them. Eastside Wastewater Treatment Plant, as mentioned, we are in compliance and with our Title V permit and emissions. We do have funds available for this in our current budget, and Public Services recommending that Invatec be approved as a sole source vendor for the purchase of these 2 units in the amount of $210,256.
Comments, questions on this item?
This is Councilman Andrew. In the proposal, there was rates for working during the week and then overtime, extra time for weekends and whatnot. We're purchasing these products, but are we paying for them to be installed also? And we're going
to install these
to
ourselves.
install them? Okay,
Yes.
that was my question. Thank you.
Anything else? I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-263.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Robbie, y'all know I like to run efficient meetings. At appropriate time, keep us posted and updated on the process we're going through with these PFSA chemical regulations and all
sir.
that. I'm
Yes,
sure through staff or whatever.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure that's a problem. We have a timeline on that. That's going to be a matter of trying to comply, testing to get to the numbers that the government's requiring, correct?
Right. We do have definitive timelines on our water side. There's focus on the wastewater and focus on the landfill. So we'll put together maybe some information packages to try to wrap everything up together for you so you can kind of see those timelines and what
Thank
we're
you.
doing.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Hello. We're going to hear from Greg Venable, Transportation. I want to look up from now on to make sure nobody substitutes people on me here. Transportation Director, and he's going to share with us item 2024-264.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. NCDOT is requesting concurrence from the City of High Point regarding a speed limit ordinance update on Kendall Road. This is a segment of Kendall Road from Skeet Club going north about a quarter mile, just basically in the area where the new Arundel subdivision is in place. During their review, I guess they found that there is a posted speed limit of 45 along that segment of roadway, but there is no ordinance in place. So this action will basically make sure that that posted speed limit matches the most current ordinance and for both the city and for NCDOT. There's no budget impact for this. There will be, if there's any additional signage needed, NCDOT will install those. Any maintenance going forward, we will look after the maintenance of that, and then we get reimbursed from NCDOT for the signs that we install for the maintenance perspective. So there is no budget impact. Transportation Department recommends the City Council approve the concurring action requested by NCDOT. We're glad to answer any questions.
No, I just, now I gotta drive the speed limit going down. Thanks a lot, man.
It was always there now, so
I just let
be careful.
So, go ahead.
Yeah, so that quarter mile coming off of Skeet Club and then on Kendall there, with that new construction, is there any talk of reducing the speed limit?
We can look at that. We haven't had any request for that, but we can take a look at that.
Okay.
So we have competing interests here, so I don't know how you guys, maybe you don't work that out, so.
That's fine, thank you.
Well, I guess it's pretty obvious to state that Kendall is a state road.
Correct, yes.
Okay. Anything else on this item for consideration? Okay, hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-264.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you, Greg. Next few items, next several items here, we're going to hear from Mr. Kevin Rogers, our fleet director. He'll begin with item 2024-265.
Thank you, sir. Well, several departments are currently using similar vehicles and need replacing based on mileage and condition. And these new Ford Explorers are like other vehicles in the city, will meet their needs. The price of $39,410.63 is for the vehicle and equipment package with DMV fees of $1182.32. Total cost for four is $162,371.80. Estimated delivery is October of 2024. Funds are available in the budget. 24-25 budget, and Fleet Service recommends purchasing the four vehicles from Performance Ford in the amount of $162,371.80. I did want to add that through our meetings of the replacement cycle, we did look at the size of the vehicles and determined that these four positions did require a little bit larger vehicle for what they do for their duties. So,
And they will specifically be used where?
electric department and fire department.
Any other comments?
I think it's a pretty good price.
Definitely.
Yep.
Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-265.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item, 2024-266.
Okay. Well, the police department is currently using similar vehicles as these, and they need replacing based on mileage and condition. These new Ford Interceptors are like other vehicles. The price of $41,347.76 is for the vehicle and equipment package with DMV fees of $1240.43. Total cost for 15 is $638,822.85. Estimated delivery is October of 2024. Funds are available in the 24-25 budget, and Fleet Services Department does recommend purchasing these vehicles from Performance Ford in the amount of $638,822.85. This is also the vehicles that we did bring the equipment recently to just be installed in these vehicles, so.
Are these additions
Replacements.
or replacements?
Replacements.
And the old ones will be,
Sorry, I'm
the
sorry.
old ones will be,
Primarily will be Tahoes and Chargers. so.
okay, and they will be replaced in the fleet, or this will be added to the fleet?
They will be replaced. We'll be pulling vehicles.
Would,
to
do those
replace
get
these.
auctioned off?
They'll be
or-
auctioned, yes.
Okay. Figured that was pretty much our normal standard
Yes,
on those type
yes.
things. All right, anything else? I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-266.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item, 2024-267.
Okay. The electric department is currently using a 2008 Vermeer D20 X22 drilling machine that needs to be replaced. The Ditch Witch has the 2024 JT24A that will meet the needs of the department. The cost of $347,603.71 is for the drilling machine and training. Delivery is actually estimated to be less than 1 month. Funds are available in the 24-25 budget. Fleet Service Department recommends purchasing the drilling machine from Ditch Witch Incorporated. Recommendations also include declaring the old machine as surplus and disposing through the online auction process. The reason for the short delivery, we've been working with the company for a while, and they actually agreed to hold the machine for us. So it is a 2024 model, but again, this is something the electric department does need. The one that we currently have, the cost for replacement, I mean, repairs have been pretty significant, so.
Okay, this, Councilman Andrews, that's what I was getting at. So the criteria for replacement is not necessarily physical age, but usage, correct? Or
Both, yes.
And it's also not economical to repair, so you've exceeded the,
Both, yes.
okay. Great, thank you.
If there's no other comments or questions, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-267.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Next item, 2024-268.
Okay. Parks and Recreation and Electric Departments are currently using John Deere 410J backhoes. The backhoes have reached the end of their useful life due to condition and escalating repair costs. James River Equipment has the John Deere 410P backhoe that will continue to meet their needs. The price of $160,086.60 is for the backhoe, operator training, extended warranty, and delivery. The price of 3 is $480, $259.80. The delivery time is 365 plus days. Funds are available in the 24-25 budget. Fleet Services Department does recommend purchasing these 3 backhoes from James River Equipment Company in the amount of $480, $259.80. This item also includes declaring the old unit as surplus and disposing through the online auction process.
Comments, question? Make a motion for approval of item 2024-268.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item, 2024-269.
All right. The Stormwater Division is currently using a 2009 Ford F-750 truck that needs to be replaced due to age, condition, and operating hours. White's International Truck can provide an International MV607 with a Godwin body, plow, and spreader that will continue to meet their needs. The price of $174,566.05 is for the dump truck, snow plow equipment, extended warranty, operator training, and delivery. Delivery is estimated to be 280 to 365 days. Funds are available in the 24-25 budget. Fleet Service Department recommends purchasing one International MV607 from White's International Truck in the amount of $174,566.05. Item also includes declaring the old truck as surplus and disposing through the online auction process.
Comments on this item? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-269.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Next item, 2024-270.
Save the best for last.
There you go.
Well, the Landfill Operations Division is currently using a 2005 CMI Terex 390E landfill compactor that needs replacement. The new TANA H555 landfill compactor is designed for landfill use and will meet their needs well. The price of $1,288,729.59 is for the compactor, training, delivery, and extended warranty. Estimated delivery is 90 days. Funds are available in the 24-25 budget. Fleet Service Department recommends purchasing the landfill compactor from National Equipment Dealers in the amount of $1,288,721.59. Recommendations also include declaring the current compactor as surplus and disposing through the online auction process.
Councilman Andrew, for large-scale, high-cost items like these, we're purchasing them. What kind of, are we purchasing a maintenance package, or do we maintain it, and what kind of maintenance schedule these things will be on?
Yes, we do. This particular item does not have a maintenance package with it. We do maintain, it's actually maintained by the landfill. They have their own mechanics that take care of that.
Okay.
We did purchase an extended warranty. It's got a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage on it. But as far as the actual maintenance itself, it's going to be covered by them.
Okay. By them who?
The landfill
Okay.
has, I don't know how many. And they have a buyback program also, too. Well, yeah.
Good. If you hadn't seen one of those things, really,
It's incredible. It's an incredible.
pretty
machine.
amazing
Yeah.
what we do to get rid of trash. Is there any other comments or questions? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-270.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. And Kevin, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. Next couple items, we're going to hear from our Assistant City Manager, Eric Almedo. We're going to start with item 2024-271.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee. This item is a consider approval of a resolution authorizing the execution of what's called the Kroger opioid settlement agreement and approving a second supplemental agreement for additional funds. A little history, back in 2021, council approved the Wave 1 settlement, which was a $21 billion national agreement, and in 2023 approved the Wave 2 settlement, which was a $21 billion national agreement, which Our portion of that was about $2.4 million spread out over 16 fiscal years. This is a much smaller settlement. This is, the Kroger settlement is anticipated to be a $40.2 million settlement to the North Carolina state and municipalities. High Point share will be $70,436.92, and we will receive that in increments through fiscal year 2034. And these funds can be used for opioid use disorder services. There's a very set list of programs that we can offer. If you recall, back at your last meeting, we did allocate $33,400 to Caring Services for, which was our first contract with any providers using these funds. So staff is recommending and asking the City Council to approve the supplemental resolution authorizing appropriate city officials to execute all necessary documents.
Comments or questions for Eric?
Just for clarification, the $70,000 is total through fiscal year 34, not every year going through the system. Okay,
Your first statement's correct.
very good.
That'll
Thank you.
be distributed, but the total amount will be the $70,000.
All right, so approximately $7,000 a year.
Correct. $70,000 over those years.
Correct.
Anything else? I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-271.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Next item, 2024-290.
Yes, sir. So this one is, we're asking you to consider purchase of 205 Model Farm Road for an electric municipal operations center. The existing operations center at 816 East Green Street currently houses electric as well as the street maintenance and water sewer mains, stormwater operations, the municipal warehouse and the purchasing division, and safety and health. The facility is becoming overcrowded, so it was determined several years ago in our capital plan that we identified that we needed to find a new location and could move electric municipal operations out of that facility. We've been searching for a suitable location for a number of years, and we've identified 205 Model Farm Road as a location that has the number of acres that we need for that new facility, and this one comes with an existing building. So it's a 35.65 acre parcel with an existing approximately 40,000 square foot building. The asking price of the property was $3.995 million. The appraised value we got was $2.75 million, but we were able to negotiate a sale price of $3.5 million for the property. Feel like this is a good value for that property, so staff recommends and asks the council to approve purchase of the property at 205 Model Farm Road and authorize appropriate city officials to execute all necessary documents.
Councilman Andrew, I'm glad that the price is very good because the way I'm reading it, it said the asking price was $3.9 million, which would be 3.9 trillion, which would be a little overpriced, so I'm glad we got it.
Sorry, I had an extra million in there.
Yeah.
Apologize.
Good catch, good catch. Just write a check. Any other comments for Eric on this? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-290.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. I do have a follow-up question, if I may. Has a closing date been anticipated?
So there's a 120-day review period, and then assuming everything goes well with that, we would close within 60 days of that. So essentially by the
4 to 6 months? 3 to 5 months? Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Moving on, we'll make sure I got it right. Am I going to hear from Adam? Is he here? There he is. Adam Ward, IT Director, item 2024-272.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
The item before you is a renewal of our service agreement between the city and Motorola Solutions for maintenance and support of the city's Motorola radio system. In 2019, the city entered into a service agreement with Motorola Solutions. This agreement provides training as well as hardware and software support for the Motorola P25 core system purchased in 2019. The Motorola P25 system core provides HighPoint with autonomy from being hosted on the City of Greensboro's radio core. Additionally, self-hosting allows HighPoint to share its radio system with neighboring public safety agencies, such as the City of Archdale and HighPoint University, for improved communications in emergent events. The overall acquisition amount is $2,519,229.40. The term of the agreement is 5 years. The payments break down within those 5 years, each year being $503,845.68. Funds are available in the fiscal year 24-25 budget. Department of IT Services recommends that the vendor Motorola Services be awarded the agreement as sole source. We further recommend that City Council approve the agreement and that the appropriate city official and/or employee be authorized to execute all necessary documents pending approval of the city attorney's office. I'll be happy to answer any questions or concerns.
Anybody?
Councilman Andrew, so maintenance and support, so we're purchasing equipment, we're also entering into a contract for Motorola to maintain the system?
The equipment is already existing, so this would be maintenance, support, and software upgrades.
Maintenance, support, and software upgrade. So with the excluding the software, the hardware, is there some kind of performance-based logistics support, meaning you have to meet a certain criteria? Basically, in my world, when I buy a maintenance package, 90% of it's supposed to be up at 90% or higher, or they are in breach of their contract or whatnot. So when I buy a support package, is there some kind of criteria that we're holding them to?
Correct. There is, yes. In our particular instance, also availability is taken into consideration as a metric. The vendor is also required to come out on a quarterly basis and do performance-based analysis of the system itself to make certain that it's functioning correctly.
Okay, thank you. Not necessarily, but I'd love to find out what that ASABO number is, that availability number that they're shooting toward.
All right. I'll be happy to research that item and email that to you.
Thank you.
Very good. Anything else? Okay, hearing nothing, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-272.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Next item for Adam is 2024-274.
Okay, the item before you, we're acquiring radio equipment to facilitate in the testing as required by changes in the International Fire Code. Section 510 of the International Fire Code requires radio coverage testing for new building construction. If the building fails to meet coverage requirements, an emergency responder communication enhancement system must be installed in the facility to meet public safety radio coverage requirements. PCTEL's Seahawk monitor equipment will facilitate our radio systems division's ability to test for fire code compliance. The acquisition amount is $177,993 and includes equipment, installation, calibration, training, and maintenance. The purchase will occur under North Carolina Purchasing Contract 725G. Funds are available in fiscal year 24-25 budget. The Department of IT Services recommend that the vendor Motorola Services be awarded the contract. We further recommend that City Council approve the contract and that the appropriate city official and/or employee be authorized to execute all necessary documents. Happy to address any questions or concerns.
Anything?
Not this one.
Okay. The equipment installation, calibration, training, and maintenance is for how long? For the life of the product, or is this like is that part of it, a 2 or 3 year contract?
There will be a reoccurring manual or maintenance fee.
Okay. Do we know how much that is?
That will be $55,000 a year.
Okay. Anything else? Make a motion to approve item 2024-274.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are at item 2024-275, and we're going to hear from Assistant IT Director Virginia Baskins. Welcome. How are you?
Good afternoon. The agenda item is for the annual renewal of licenses for Cisco Dual Multi-Factor Authentication. In May of 2022, the City of High Point began using multi-factor authentication. The software used to provide multi-factor authentication was Cisco Duo. Multi-factor authentication, also known as MFA, is a security measure which requires employees to provide multiple forms of identification to prove their identity when accessing digital resources. It is a preventive measure to stop attacks like ransomware. The total cost of the renewal is $107,342.46. The purchase will occur under the purchasing contract NCPA number 01-96. The funds from fiscal year 2024-25 will be used for this expense. The Department of Information Technology Services recommends that the vendor 5S Technologies be awarded the contract. We further recommend that City Council approves the contract and that the appropriate city officials and/or employee be authorized to execute all necessary documents. Happy to address any questions.
Anything here, guys?
It's Councilman Andrew. Did 5S recommend Cisco, or did we say that we want Cisco? And then if so, why did we pick Cisco versus some other 2FAs? Because I'm used to different vendors doing the same kind of service.
5S did recommend Cisco Duo, and we did try other multi-factor authentications like Microsoft Authentication app,
Okay.
and Cisco Duo came in as best price.
That's okay, very good, thank you.
If there's no other comments or questions, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-275.
Second?
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Baston. Next item, we'll hear from Library Director Mary Sizemore, item 2024-279.
Good afternoon. The item before you is requesting approval of a contract with Mental Health Associates of the Triad in the amount of $136,987.20 to provide contracted social work services at the library. These funds would cover all the costs related to the placement of a full-time licensed social worker and a peer navigator on site at the library. For the past 5 or 6 years, we have had social work services at the library through interns through the A&T and UNCG School of Social Work. Their workload has increased exponentially. They are only available during the academic year, so there is a large gap to provide these resources. So in addition to working with customers coming in the library, these individuals also work with library staff to provide support in training and de-escalation, behavior management, that type of thing. The funds for this contract are included in the current fiscal budget, and the Library Department recommends that City Council approve this contract in the amount of $136,987.20.
Comments or questions for Mary?
Councilman Andrew, how many hours per day will these services be provided?
They will be provided to some degree, all the hours that we're open.
Okay.
Now, that may not be physically there from 9 to 8, but we are working out some sort of arrangement to have an on-call basis. So if something does come up and we need assistance, we can reach one of the workers.
And are there any extra facility needs for these people, like desks or anything like that?
Actually, Reading Connections, which is Guilford County's primary adult literacy organization, for about 12 or 13 years, they've had offices on the second floor of the library. And after COVID, their physical presence has diminished a lot.
Okay.
So we've had conversations with them, and actually, they're going to keep one of the offices, and we're going to take the other two. They're also leaving the furniture there. They have no use for it, so we have space for them
Excellent.
already.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Mary. If there's no other comments, questions, I'll make a motion to.
Chairman Moore.
Yeah, please.
Recently had the occasion to speak at a forum on youth mental health, and one of the questions was, how do you know where to go to get that, and so to get resources. And I happened to mention the fact that in our library we had mental health resources, and the panel that I was on was extremely impressed the fact that this was something that we invested in as a city, considering the state of mental health in our community. So
Yes.
I think it's a feather in our cap that this is something that council is invested in, and that we have those available for our public.
Thank you, Councilman Holmes. I concur. It's a area of our social construct that it needs our attention, unfortunately. And I had a meeting this morning at the library, and it's a very active place for those that don't frequent the library as much as they used to anymore. So very good comment, and it's a necessary, unfortunate thing that we have to do, but thank you for stepping up and trying to lead that charge. If there's nothing else, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-279.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you. Next few items, we're going to hear from we are now taken and made it a permanent Chief of Police Chief. So, welcome, Chief.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll start with item 2024-280.
All right, good afternoon. First item before you is for consideration of a resolution and interlocal agreement between the City of High Point and the County of Guilford for animal shelter provisions. I will point out to you that typically in the past this has been for a 3-year agreement. This year it's for a 1-year agreement. But as you're probably aware, we take all the animals that our ACOs deal with here in the city to that location. So we're requesting City Council consider ratifying that and authorizing execution of that agreement.
Comments or questions on this? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-280.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Next item, 2024-281.
Item 281 is consideration of purchasing training and duty ammo from what we call Keesler Police Supply. They are a large-scale vendor. As you know, we have multiple weapons platforms, and we need duty and practice ammunition. We can get the bulk majority from them. We ordered in batches over the course of the year, and they seem to be able to meet most of our distribution needs in that regard. And so this item is for authorization of of an agreement with them in the amount of $152,203 for our duty and practice ammunition.
Comments or questions on this item? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-281. There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Next item, 2024-283.
283 is for consideration of purchase from Lawman's Police Supply, updated or new weapons platform, our handguns. Industry standard is to update the weapons platform about every 7 years. We've been in these firearms since 2018. Our current firearms are no longer being manufactured by SIG, and as such, the parts are no longer being manufactured as well. And so, in an effort to beat some larger agencies kind of to the punch, we want to go ahead and replace or update those weapons platforms now. Part of that agreement with Lawman's does include a buyback or weapons credit trade-in for our current firearms. So we're seeking approval for, in the amount of $125,731 for the purchase of SIG P320s in 9mm.
Councilman Andrews, you said that we're moving from one SIG platform to another?
Yes, what we currently carry is 40mm,
Okay.
that's what's being phased out.
Yeah, I was getting to that, okay. And then I'll refrain the argument on Glock 17 versus SIG 320, so,
We used to carry Glocks, we upgraded.
yeah. So, I got both, but I like the SIG. So.
All right. If y'all keep it up, we're going to challenge each other to Y'all going to go play golf next, or what's going to be?
I already did. We already did.
Yeah, I know. All right. Anything else? All right, hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve item 2024-283.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Next couple of items are for our information about our upcoming council meeting on Monday. The items are before us from Economic Development Corporation Director Peter Bishop, and the first item is 2024-287.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee. I'm Peter Bishop, your Director of Economic Development. As you stated, we will be having two public hearings on Monday covering some economic development projects. The first of those projects, CNC Industries, that is also eligible for two state incentives, a One North Carolina Fund and a building reuse grant. Staff is recommending a $100,000 local incentive award, and that will sort of play double duty. It'll cover local incentives, so the city has some skin in the game. It'll also cover required matching funds for the two state incentives, 5% for the building reuse grant and $50,000, or I'm sorry, $25,000 for the One North Carolina grant.
Okay. Next item, we will look forward to hearing that presentation in full on Monday night. Next item is 2024-288.
Yes, and this is another public hearing for Triad Expeditors, a regional company that's going to be consolidating and relocating their operations to High Point and making an investment on Wade Place in the East Green Drive targeted area. Excited to see some investment and job creation in that area. It's been a while since a new construction project's been there on Brentwood and Wade Place and New Street. So excited to help out with this company, and that will be an expenditure of $37,126 as recommended by the department.
Very good. Do you know if they'll have some representatives here on Monday?
Yes, each company will have representatives. CNC Industries will be providing a few slides to introduce their company. Triad Expeditors does not have any slides, but they will be present and able to answer any council questions.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anything else to come before council? All right. Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.